Hello, hello. Hello guys, how are you doing today? So this is Monday and last week I started this series where I'm bringing to you the content of image and style consulting training program, and I started talking about what a career is, what an image consultant does, and that was what I spoke about on Thursday and Friday. And I've got I had a few questions that I answered throughout the two live interactions that I had here. Today, I want to move on and go further in explaining what an image consultant does, right? So I will start with the scope of work, right? And then we do work with what we call the ABCD, which is like appearance, behavior, communication, and digital presence, okay? So I would say that nowadays, like during this quarantine time that we're living, the digital presence has become one of the most impactful areas of image consulting, right? Because we have not been interacting as much, so our behavior has been downplayed. We don't have to pay attention to that as much because we are not interacting with people. However, we still have to mind that in our digital, like our online interactions, okay? So that is still something we have to be mindful about, but we are not doing that as often because we're not here all the time, right? If you think about the percentage of time in which you're interacting online compared to a regular like normal life situation, we do this much less, right? So when you talk about appearance, this is what you see here, right? And this is why I'm saying that right now the digital presence has become more important, because when you deal with digital presence, looking at a person, you will mind more about this area of the body. You don't care as much about what the person is wearing, like from the waist down. But you may, depending on what you're doing, what kind of interaction you're doing online. So that might also be something that a consultant would help with. But as a whole, it's the image that someone passes on, portrays when communicating, behaving, and appearing in front of people or digitally. So these are the four pillars of image consulting. When you understand that your appearance is a tool for communication, you will not neglect that. And you will be more focused on your choices. You will have a purpose in choosing what to wear. And this is what the image consultant will help clients do. The image consultant will say, we'll start by asking, so what do you want people to read about you when they look at you? Okay, so when you look at me, you see color, you see lines, you see pattern, you see, like on my face, you have my brows, you have the eyes, you have nose, you have my lips, color coordination, you have nail polish. All of that conveys messages. And if this is not aligned with what you're saying, it generates confusion. It impacts negatively your communication. And this is why it's so important. Let me get the power cord. It's so important to make sure that what you wear and the way you present yourself is congruent with your message. If you are, for instance, talking about happiness, freedom, and being running wild and being courageous, brave, outspoken, you are wearing black, solid colors and traditional clothing, the message is not the same. So your audience will not understand that that is true. They will not believe in the message you are conveying because they are not congruent. What you're wearing, your appearance, what you're saying, they do not take the audience to the same focus. So this is basically what an image consultation will do to your client when you begin to work. It will help your client convey the message they need, not only through what they say, but also through the way they look, through their gestures, and everything that is surrounding that, depending on the need of the client. So with that, you do understand that it's all together. When you talk about appearance, however, you have a different set of pillars, okay? It's what you do with the person's image in order to bring to this person the result they need. So you will deal with accentuating any feature that the person believes is beautiful, important, that is something that they are pleased about. You will balance anything that is not in accordance with what the person expects, wants, desires. And you will camouflage anything that might be prevention, that might be an obstacle, that might be a challenge for the person when they want to communicate to reach their goals. So accentuate, balance, and camouflage. These are the three important things that we do with the appearance. And we might do that as well when working with digital presence, and less when you're dealing with communication and behavior. Because in communication and behavior, what you do is train the person to do that better, right? So choice of words, expressions, movements, and that is not about accentuating or camouflaging or even like balancing. It's about teaching new skills or improving upon what the person can do already. There is a big difference between a personal stylist and an image consultant. The personal stylist is a person that will help the client dress what fashion brings. So the focus is to make that person more fashionable, to make that person be presentable for, say, one event, one occasion, or one closed objective that this person might have. When you talk about image consulting, it's something broader. You deal with the person's lives. You talk about habits. You talk about lifestyle, preferences. You talk about family. You talk about things that will tell you who that person is as a whole, and not only for one occasion. So it's as if we said that image consulting deals with the foot, the feet, right? Whereas personal styling will deal with the shoe. So personal styling will bring the shoe to the foot, right? And image consulting will find the ideal shoe for that foot. So it's different starting points, different focus, okay? Also, we would understand that the kind of world that is surrounding the professional is different. The professional who deals with personal styling is a lot more creative, a lot more focused on trends, and it's more timely, right? Whereas the image consultant will look at things more from the perspective of techniques, history. It's as if we compared an architect and an engineer, or a psychologist versus a psychiatrist. It's similar professions, but with different goals. Some goal is more of a short-term goal, and the other one is more of a long-term goal. So the process can be longer when it's an image consulting process, and shorter when it's a personal styling process. You might deal with either corporations or individuals. The two might become your clients when you decide to pursue the image consulting career. It will depend on the kind of client that you want to work with. More often than not, the image consulting process will happen in a person's lives when there is some sort of transition going on, when something is not the same anymore, when something is new for that person. So it's very common that people will look for image consulting when they are looking for a new job, or women after they have had children, now they want to go back into working. Okay, they want to regain their career and power in their profession and things like that. Also, when people move from one country to another, sometimes even from a state to another, because they have to learn to communicate and to mingle. They have to understand the relationships in that location, to learn how they deal with people and what communicates different regarding where they're from. So if I come to think of me as an example, I have had to change the way I dress because I moved to the US. Yes, because oh my goodness, so many S's. Oh, that was bad. Well, so when I moved here, I had to not wear high heels as often as I did in Brazil. I started wearing less makeup. I I had to learn to do the nails by myself because manicure in Brazil is different from here. And also I learned that here it's not as important. So if you have your nails clean and they are not with nail polish on, that's not a problem. In Brazil, you have to have nail polish on, and it's got to be sparkling. It's got to be fresh. Like, so I had that appointment every week, and that's cultural. And there's nothing right or wrong. There is just like different. It's different here and there. And then once you learn it, you adapt, and that's what image consulting will do. Okay, you will adapt to your new reality. About ethics. Although we are a self-regulated profession, we do have an association that describes to us what is right, what is wrong in the day by day activities of the career that we have. So yes, there are things that are considered right, other things are considered wrong, and then we have AICI, our international association, to be the judge, the controller for that, right? So we abide by the rules, and once you accept those rules, you have to follow them. And if you do not follow them, people can come and say, okay, that person is not doing that right. We've got to go back and check what's happening over there, because there may be an issue, and that person that has done something wrong may be invited to not be part of the association anymore. And that is super serious. Okay, so our association is something to be really valued, and I'm part of it, and this is how I got my certification, which is our next topic. When we talk about certification, you have first the one that designates you as a professional. So you take a class, you learn, like, this is part of a class that I teach. So you take the class, which my class takes 17 weeks. It's about like almost, it's over that, because we break here and then, and sometimes we have other classes in between. So let's say that it's a 20 week course in which you learn a career. Okay, then you have the certificate, which says that you have finished the professional training to become an image consultant. Once you've done that and you are a member of AICI, after a year you've been a member, you can apply to take the certification test and be certified by the Association of International Image Consultants. And that is a different certification, which that is something that you have to maintain certification every year. Okay, you have to do, like, you have to take classes, you have to take tests to prove that you are still apt to be working as an image consultant. So the first certification level you have is certified image consultant. The second one is certified image professional, which is the one that I hold. And then the last one, which is certified image master, is one you can only take after you have reached the few levels of your career that not all image consultants decide to do, because some of them depend on the kind of work you wish to give, to offer your clientele. And sometimes you're just not willing, for instance, to write a book. And that is not mandatory for you to be a knowledgeable and a successful professional. But it is mandatory for you to become a certified image master. You have to have written a book. All right? Next here then. Well, the purpose of my class, the one that I have designed for people to become professionals in image consulting, is to unbuild limiting beliefs about personal image and contribute to a self-aware and confident community of women at peace with their image and how they communicate their essence through their appearance, behavior, and communication styles. Because being is more important than dressing. Okay, so this was it for today. I hope you liked it. This will be available here for 24 hours, and after that there will be a link for the YouTube page where I'm uploading all of these live sessions here. I hope you're back here tomorrow for the next lesson. Okay, see you then. Bye.